This year Lebaran travel I experienced was not as hectic as the others I had before. My sister's family couldn't come with us on this trip because they couldn't get the holiday leave they wanted, so even if they still got some PTO, it wasn't long enough for the trip. This year's trip only consisted of my parents and I. Our usual road is Yogyakarta, Solo, Semarang. But this year we only went to Yogyakarta and Semarang, mainly because my father had to drive alone on this trip, so it wouldn't be too exhausting for him. We visited my grandma's, my uncles, aunties, cousins from my father's side of the family, ate gudeg like there's no tomorrow. Did I mention it's my favorite cousin from Yogyakarta? I think I did. And stayed at our homestay most of the time. I spent the time with my grandma and then playing games, watching TV shows, and trying, emphasize on trying, to do my assignments and thesis. We hit the road again after 2 nights. The trip won't be complete until my parents eat their favorite meat java, specifically solo cuisines, goat, meat, and more cuisines. I won't explain much about those things since you can easily Google them yourselves. In short, it is not as festive and exciting as it was before. Yeah, I guess writing this or reading this out loud as an adult would be too difficult to make it as cheerful. I think my parents think about it that way too. There are times when instead of visiting our distant families, we would go to vacation destinations that is not on our hometown. Once, my parents decided to take me and my sister to a beach somewhere in East Java. I remember they asked me and my sister to pack our clothes to go to our distant families, but the bus took us to a different destination. My parents surprised us, taking us to this beach. We spent 5 days on the beach and rented a room for a week that is located exactly in front of the beach. We spent every day walking on the sand, eating grilled fish, buying and looking for seashells, playing with the sand, and riding a boat to see the coral reef. Well, I don't remember them clearly, but my parents always brought up the moment when I was scared for my life, screaming, crying, throwing a tantrum every time they wanted to rent a small boat to watch the coral reef. I loved the film Titanic as a child, so I guess the sea seemed scary for me back then. What I do remember is the seashells and dried sea urchins and decorations I chose to buy from the market there, and how I also cried like crazy when some of them cracked and turned into powder because I held on them too excitedly, tightly. It felt like I killed them with my hand, not knowing they were already dead. It is actually hilarious now. But I do have tendencies to give meaning to useless things, so I guess I'm just a very too much empathetic person, even as a child. It was fun, even if my mother later complained about our tanned skin, but I guess that's what happened if you spend 5 days at the beach. When I was a child, every Eid al-Fitr holiday was my favorite holiday. That is such a weird sentence because it doesn't feel that long ago when I actually enjoyed it. We would visit a lot of tourist spots, eating delicious cuisines, and even throw parties at my Semarang's Buddha's house. As years go by, I feel like it's more of a duty, a tradition to keep up. Visiting distant families is filled with formalities and a sort of enthusiasm. Oh, the families are jolly to visit, don't get me wrong. Seeing they are healthy and well is a good thing. But the long road trip, the bickering in the road, in the process of getting there, and the drama of the families really put a toll on someone sometimes. Ah, yes, the family drama. I guess I'm old enough to know what is actually brewing in the family. Um, would I go into details about it here? I don't think I should, but the premise would be described as well as I could. I can say how difficult it is to be a parent, handling things about themselves while also at the same time trying to control small little demons running around. Dare I say, my parents did it too well? Until recent years, I heard about whatever is happening between the adults, and as a young adult, I can only say they are not as wise nor as nice as they always look. Silly even. Now I'm just ranting. It's baffling how pitiful people can be. I never expected much as a decent human being. All I can offer is an empty canvas, no assumptions whatsoever. But do I have to choose a side? I used to think that I didn't want to take any part in this. Family is family, you know, Fast and Furious side. But I guess people are not as silly as me. This is where I could sympathize with people who do take offense on those questions in Ramadan. You know, the questions that usually your aunts, your uncles ask around, specifically the aunties. People use it as a weapon to attack each other, uh, harming their social sense with each other in the process. It is cruel to think about why these people would do this to others. But again, I'm just ranting. I do not need to pick a side. Sorry. Correction, I do need to pick a side. That would be my parents. I mean, would that be not obvious? But even if they were hurt by their siblings, they still care for some of them and still try to visit all of them every year. I think they don't want me and my sisters to grow apart too, showing a good example despite what they have experienced. I think there's nothing I can say about this, but family does matter to some extent. I guess that is why the tradition has been going on for the longest time. It's to keep family together without the intensity of the drama getting them to fall apart. Contentment. I think it's important to feel content with our life. Ramadan teaches us to be patient, to forgive, and to embrace our wrongs to others and own them. Eid al-Fitr with the Lebaran culture brings family together, even for a short while, even for only once a year. It is also important to know that not all people have the blessing of having distant families or even immediate families. So this moment is also for us to forgive ourselves, embrace our mistakes, and pray for forgiveness. Take it as a means to reward ourselves with a holiday. It's fun if we learn to enjoy it the way we would like it to be, finding the beauty in everything. I hope this series of It All Fitr stories that I'm reading for you right now brings me to reflect on them too. As writing also, that's my cat. I'm so sorry. As writing also help us to be at peace with ourselves. Kind of a month late, but Eid Mubarak, everyone.